Alright, what the hell is this mess? So I need to weld this 2-inch wide by 12 inches long, 1/8 inch thick piece onto this part. I got a weld on the back, so lap joints I don't think are as bad as fillet joints for warpage. But anyways, I don't want, for the welds here, I don't want these things to go this way, so I braced it with a tube to hold it steady that way. And I'm thinking I'm going to try to do opposite welds. So weld some here, and then I can't get down there too well with that one in there. But weld this side, and then weld on this side. And then we'll see where we go next. Alright, kind of gnarly, but it's actually looking like they're getting to be more fillets than they're getting to be just random weld puddles. Alright, those don't look so good. Not that any of the other ones do, but now I got rearranged clamping. Alright, I do need this welded to this piece reasonably well, because this gets welded to the main channel that gets connected to the tractor. So this is pulling, and that's the axle. So if this is not sturdy, then we got a commissioner. So I gotta get some good welds in here. Alright, so I just did this weld, which, I don't know, it's probably not a good weld, but it looks better than most of my welds. And I did this weld over here, which, I don't know. Alright, I'm going to take out the 5/8 rod, and then we're just going to see how good we did with the alignments that we needed to keep. And when we put the axle in, it will work. But I just like to learn. Yeah, that was pretty hard getting out. I definitely think in the future I'd have to make sure I balance welds on the top with welds on the bottom in my design. But this is what we have. Let's take a look. This, we wanted to stay flat because this has to go on the main tube. And I think that's pretty good. Alright, so this tongue piece needs to be perpendicular so the axles are straight. So we got this just set up here. And you can see along here. And it's probably 1/8 of an inch over a foot. So when we put it on, we'll just have to make sure that our axles are straight. It may not be lined up exactly. And it's 1.5 inches. So those welds have to clear. So the 1.5 inches will sit right in the middle there. And it looks like we're in good shape. We just probably have to grind those to make them look pretty, but not to remove anything necessary. Alright, so this is the one that has the big bow in it. It's actually going to be upside down, so the bow is like this, and we'll look at that. But here we got all the way down, and you can see when we get down here, we got like a quarter inch over 19 inches. So that's unexpected. Yeah. So what that says that we got a bow this way. So we'll just have to make sure that our top is still. So that's 19, the tube, that's where the axle is, and then once we get up to where the top of the frame's going to be, yeah, see, we're off by like a quarter inch. So we will either have to try to spread that with the top frame or make accommodations of it somehow. Alright, so in this orientation we got this end clamped, and you can see we probably got an 1/8 inch over 19 inches. So that misalignment is, the axles are going to be not perpendicular, not by much, so we might have to just adjust the orientation once we get it on there. And looking at this, it almost looks like the tube is rotated. You know, we know it's bent, and we know it's bent translation, but I think it's rotated a tiny bit too, which is not really a critical dimension for what I need. Okay, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to use the grinder and maybe the flapper disc and just clean up all our stuff. I think I'm going to get a die grinder to clean up in the corners here. Yeah, I think we're going to clean this up and then move on to our next. So, you know, this is our fixture piece that goes there. I need to make another one for the back that would go here. So that's probably the next thing to do. We spent quite a bit of time getting this whole axle assembly together, which goes here. So I think we'll grind what we can to clean this up, and then we'll use some of that and make another one of these.